Yo, what's up guys, it's Gam3sy guy here and doing another video. This one, I think I should teach you guys how to build and the best settings for that. Cause if you don't know, if you're just starting out, or if you want tips on how to build better or what to build when you're fighting, then I thought I should Okay, so let's change it to creative. Let's hop in. I'll show you guys the best techniques to build and the best settings for building. Okay, let's hop in. We'll go into 1v1 build fights. Please tell me I have that. If I don't, I will die. There we go. 1v1 build fight. We must do the ritual though. Nope, that's not the ritual. This is the ritual. Okay, gotta start it up right there. Burr. So let's get my weapons. You may ask why you would need to build. The reason you would build is because if you're fighting someone, you don't want to just sit here and shoot at each other until someone dies. You want to hopefully win the fight, because that's just 50-50 chance there. Unless you're super good at shooting and dodging, which isn't really possible. But you want the fight to last longer. You don't want to just sit here and shoot each other. So building has many techniques, like there's multiple things you can build. Starting with a wall, a ramp, a floor, which it won't let me because I'm on a floor. Hop up here on a floor. And a roof. So there's the 4 things you can build. Now, there's different techniques you can use when you build, like, for example, if you're fighting someone, they're shooting me, I'm getting hit, I build a wall. Ha. Then they shoot my wall. Then I can come over, shoot them, and move back. Or I could build a ramp, and then shoot them, and then come down. That's just logic, of course. You can set your binds to anything you want to build. Okay, so the best settings for building. Go to your settings. What you want to do for building, come over to the controller and the gear. This is your sensitivity. Your sensitivity will depend on how fast you turn when you're building. You can set it to whatever feels right for you. Depends on what I'm doing when I'm playing. Usually I'll keep mine aim and look sensitivity at about 6. Each, but it's just your preference. For your build mode sensitivity, it's how fast it builds and stuff. So what you want to do for that is just, again, preference. I keep mine at 1.8, 1.4. Edit mode, I'll get into edit mode later after building. And then I keep my advanced options off because my thing is fine. I build fine without advanced options. That's really all the settings you need for building, except for when you come down here, there's stuff more of what is more helpful. So ignore editing. Turbo building, I keep that on because it makes so I can build faster and it switches faster. I like keeping reset building choice because if I end up editing my build at all, which I'll get into later, I can just look at it and press a button and it returns my build back to normal. Easy. So those are the settings. Now on to the building. So multiple things you can do with building. Again, this is just logic. Like if you're shooting someone, build to protect yourself and then shoot them when they're not paying attention. But there's some things you can do to get the advantage. 2 things you want to do to get the advantage. You want the high ground. Whoever has the high ground has the advantage. So for the high ground, there's 2 things you can do. You can either do the ramp, floor, burst, or crank. I'll start with cranking. Cranking is when I switch to my build 4 walls around me. It also depends on what you're playing on. I'm playing on Switch, so I press different buttons. I press A to switch to my build mode. But you can figure out your builds and then I'll tell you what bind to press. So I press my build bind and then use my wall bind all the way around. Then I jump and do a ramp. Then I do it again. Jump and floor, spin with a wall, and then ramp. And I do that multiple times until I'm however high I want to be. The other type is ramp, floor, burst. The way you do that is you go to build mode, I press my build bind, then wall bind, ramp bind, and then floor, wall, ramp, and I do it without stopping, or otherwise it takes too long. These are both good. Now you may also ask why you can't just ramp up normal. Well, you could, but then someone can easily just shoot you down, shoot the bottom of your build, and you fall to your death. You do take fall damage in a normal game, but I am in a creative build mode, so it doesn't take fall damage from me. But someone could easily just shoot it down, and you die. because it crumbles. This people can shoot down, but it is harder and takes them longer, and by then you can hopefully waterfall or jump down or surprise them. For anyone who doesn't know what a waterfall is, it's a very hard build to master. Honestly, it's actually not. I just sucked at it until I figured it out. What you want to do is, if you're waterfalling, say I just ramped up and there's a guy right below me, I can go like this. And then I look straight down and fall off, but when I do, I hold my wall bind for about 3 walls and then place a floor or a ramp, your preference, like this. And then like that, done. And then, or you can just edit it and then fall and then ramp. Done. I will fall to my death now. Yeet! Magic! Ta-da! So those are 2 ways of doing it. You can waterfall down and then surprise your opponent before he even destroys your build. Now, these both have advantages to them. Like, with this, if there's a bad guy, not a bad guy, that sounds like I'm a weirdo. If there is an enemy over there, and I want to get over to him without just running toward him and getting shot, what I would do is, I could crank, but then I just got the high ground and didn't do anything good. Like, I sit here, crank, master, yeah, cranking. Now, the only thing that did is got me the high ground. So, I didn't get over to him. I could always just floor over to him, but then he could just shoot my build down and I'd die. So, that's not the best idea. This is only good for if he's coming toward you and you crank up and then you can floor right here and fall onto him. The best thing to do would be to ramp floor burst up, because then you get closer to him while getting the high ground, and then before he can shoot your build down, you waterfall. Magic. Pow! Those are the 2 best ways to get the high ground and get closer to them. Just gotta use them with different strategies depending on who you're fighting and what you're doing. Now, those are the 2 main things for building. I mean, again, there's like the obvious stuff like magic. Okay. Again, there's the obvious stuff like boom, and then hi-ya, and then back here, or ha, and then hi-ya, and then back here. But that only goes so far, especially if your opponent is super good at building. So those are the 2 simple things, using a wall and a ramp and sometimes a floor. The cone isn't usually used for anything in particular while doing that, except for like if you do decide to crank up and like this until you're how high you want, and then you're gonna run over to, instead of doing the ramp floor burst, I hate that name, you can put a floor as well, so that it takes longer for them to shoot it down, and then you can waterfall onto them. Yeet! And then hi-ya! Pow! So that's another thing you can do, but it's not typically used too much. Some total sweats will use it, but not as often as other stuff. Power. So building only takes you so far. That's about the most you can do with building, other than blocking your teammates so they die or whatever. The next thing that really steps up your building is editing. Editing is a miracle. I love it, but it's very, very hard to master. So, to edit, if you look at a build, I'm looking at my wall, then it will obviously, it says right there, I hold my A to edit. A, circle goes around, and then it shows this, depending on what you're looking at. For wall, it shows up a 3x3 grid, but it shows up the 3x3 grid, and then I can press my edit bind, which in my case is my right trigger attack button, because I'm playing on Switch. I can press that and then let go and shoot, and it created a hole there, see? And then I can edit back before they can do anything. Pow! Wow, okay, I'm trash. Like that. Or, in the previous example, build a wall, then I can go do the sandwich, shoot them, and edit back. But you gotta be very fast at that. You can also do the opposite sandwich, but for some reason mine crumbles every time I do that. There's also a door or cool archway thing. Ow. There's a lot of different edits you can do with all the builds, but I'll show you some of the main ones. I showed you some right there. There's this, which by the way you can do on all sides as well. You can even do it like this, I think, which is pretty sweet. The best edit settings, if I go to my gear controller again, are the edit mode sensitivity is 1.4. I just keep it at that, but it's also preference. Edit hold time, for if you're holding your A, you can change to how fast you want. Don't want it too fast though. Or I just press my left joystick down, and that is how I switch to edit mode. Or for editing, I edit on release. Instead of having to press A again when I'm done, I just edit right as I let go of my edit bind. It's done, and it's faster. But again, it is a lot of work. So those are the simple ones for the wall. There's a lot of strategies you can do. For the I hate editing. They're the worst. So to do this, there's different strategies you could do. For example, I could go like this and this and this and this, and say there's a guy right here and I want to get shot, so I jump in here. Ha, he's under there, I am on top, I have the high ground. I never use this because I hate it and it's super hard to do, but if he's there, I can go like this. Now when I go to my edit mode, it is a 3x3 grid, but it's a really weird one. Can't use these two center ones at all very well unless you're gonna flip it. I could hold here and move it to here and it flips it, but now he's got the high ground and that's lame. So flip it again, and here we go. So I go back to edit mode, and I can start on one corner and go. There's multiple you can do. Like I could go like this, ha, and then shoot him, and then yay, see, I did it. That's how you edit back. There's also, you could do like a stair, which most people never use. I could go like this, wee, done. Or I can do the full turnaround stair like that. How? But again, most people never use that because it's not like it's really needed. So that's the main strategy. The main strategy is just flip it, shoot him, and flip it back. Power. But that's really hard to do. I wouldn't advise that for beginners. Then you can also use a floor one. That's very helpful. This and here. Say I just boxed up my opponent. Haha, loser. Box him up. He stinks. And then I get on top of the box. He's in there freaking out. Go like this. I can edit. Now with floors, it's just a 2x2 grid. Go like this and edit it, shoot his face off, and edit it back. Easy. I can also do these and shoot, but that just takes longer because there's two things to do. Or I could even do 3, but it's not really needed because I just need a little space to shoot him with. Plus it takes longer to edit back and you're more likely to get shot. You can't ever do more than 3 because it just doesn't let you. It's not possible anyway. You just be destroying your build. Or you can edit down, shoot him, and then build a ramp, and then maybe do that strategy again. Hey, yeah, he's dead. Done. That's the main floor thing. I mean, there's nothing to it. It's just simple like that. Then there's the cone. The cone is also very simple. That is not a cone. Hey, yeah. Okay. So the cone also shows up a 2x2 grid, but it flips up. Oh, no. No. Yes. Okay. Flips up like this. Like I could go like that or that. That didn't even work. Okay. There's simple things you can do for strategies. With the cone, I boxed up my opponent again. Haha, loser. Edit this out. Die, ramp. Edit it here. And there's a cone here. Of course, this is basically just the floor. Floor is even easier, so you don't even really need to do this. But I'll show you for the sake of it. Shoot him and edit it back. I can also go like this and make it like that, and then go like that. Or I could go like this. If he's coming out this side, I could go like this and run up and then do my own thing. That's not usually commonly used at all. So the best thing to do is if he's in there, and notice I have a cone in there. He's in there. He's in the back wall. I can go like this and edit. I can shoot his face and then edit it like this, because then he's still there. Of course, note, I would have a roof here so that he can't get out super easy. And then I can heal up if he shot me, which he hopefully didn't. Go like this, shoot him again, and then edit back. And then just keep doing that. What the? Stupid. Yay! That was fun. So anyways, that is basically the cone strategy. There's really nothing else to it. It's simple and logical. You just gotta practice it. Also, these builds and edits take a lot of practice. A lot of people I know, like, who tried Fortnite, they just said they tried it one game and didn't like it. But you just gotta give it more than one game. Give it more than one try and then quit. Because if you don't do that, you're not gonna get good and it won't be fun. And then you won't realize if you like it because you didn't try it. You gotta keep practicing. Eventually you will get great. I did once suck at this, and I kind of still do, but I keep practicing and then it gets more and more fun. Trust me, once you are really good at building, it is so fun, honestly, because you can just spam and destroy and then edit down in a waterfall. Unless you can't, because I'm trash. But anyway, you get the point. That's basically all for edits and builds